Welcome to Future Unfolded's Curated Knowledge, Episode 1. This podcast will discuss the latest news and advancements, topics that might bring about a better future. If you don't know me, I am Malcolm Peralty. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and I am hopeful that the future will be better. So let's dig into it. The first thing I want to talk about today is from The Guardian. It is a protein test that can detect 18 early-stage cancers. Researchers have designed a test that analyzes proteins in the blood and can pick up 18 early-stage cancers, representing all main organs in the human body. The key question that brings up is, what do I think will happen with regards to cancer over the next 5 to 10 years? That's a pretty short time frame, but our technology is advancing especially fast and especially in areas where there's a lot of money available. So for something like cancer, I can see that in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll probably be able to get rid of, manage, or deal with most cancers that exist today, especially at that 10-year mark, because of course getting approvals for any kinds of medical technologies or techniques takes a huge amount of time and money and effort. But I do think that we are on the road to not needing to worry so much about cancer. I think it'll become similar to how we look at cysts today, and I think that will be a very good thing for a lot of people. I personally haven't been directly impacted by cancer, but I know a lot of people that have, and I definitely want to see this line of diseases dealt with in that next period of time. I don't think we'll be able to say it's cured. I think we're still a fair ways away from that. I think we'll have really good treatment options available in 10 years for all types of cancer, and stage 4 won't be as scary of a word anymore. The next thing I want to talk about today comes from Canary Media. It talks about a huge battery replacing Hawaii's last coal plant. As we all know, coal plants are horrible polluters in the atmosphere, and so we need to get rid of them so that we can all breathe the oxygen that we need. And they originally shut down this coal plant in 2022, but they needed to add a replacement battery to their solar installations to store excess solar during the day and provide it as a grid service. I think this is amazing. I'm actually a huge fan of solar. It's not my favorite renewable energy. That would have to be geothermal. If you haven't watched my video about geothermal being the answer to so many problems that we have in the world, please check out that video. But I think that solar will really come into its own this year, as it's so much cheaper now than creating any other kind of power plant. And beyond that, we're making breakthroughs almost on a weekly basis with regards to improving efficiency, improving the ability to recycle solar panels, the ability to support solar panels with battery implementations like this. Perovskite crystals and their durability is going up and up, and they automatically have a huge amount of efficiency, but on top of that, they can be made with not silicon, and so that has a huge advantage as well. I think this year will be amazing for solar. I don't think it is the only solution, but I do think it's a great solution for renewable energy, and I hope to see much more of it installed. The third topic I want to talk about today is that at CES they showed off a variety of robots that are aiming to replace people, and it's caused a bit of a stir. So there's robot baristas, AI chefs, delivery robots, more humanoid robots for factories and warehouses, updated self-driving vehicle concepts, and so much more. So how is this positive? How do we deal with the fact that AI and automation and robotics are coming for our jobs? And not just like the jobs that no one wants to do. And I put wants in quotations because I actually had a discussion with my wife recently about my dislike or distaste when news anchors say that no one wants to work at a fast food restaurant. No, it's not that no one wants to work at a fast food restaurant. It's just no one wants to work a minimum wage job anymore with the current cost of things. But that's besides the point. With regards to how this is positive, I think that we really need to fight for the future we want to live. And I think that all of this automation and all of these tools that we will have available to us from a corporate perspective have to be integrated into the society that we create. I'm a big fan of democratic socialism. I think that it is our way forward as we transition to a post-capitalist society. And I'm very hopeful that all of this technology won't continue to keep capitalism going for another 2, 3, 4 decades, when we really don't need it to at this point. We have the technology to really free ourselves from the 40-hour work week. And the intention of the 40-hour work week, I don't think was ever for us to continue to have that exact same work week for the rest of time. So I think the rise of the 4-day work week is an interesting spin on that. We should have really already been at that point. We should probably all be fighting for a 3-day work week at this point. It reminds me of the fights for the $15 an hour minimum wage, both here in Canada and in the States. I think by the time people were actually actively fighting for it, it should have been the $20 an hour minimum wage. And that's just how our society works, isn't it? The good news about all of this automation is that our capitalist society doesn't work if the majority of people aren't working. So when we see those reports about like 5% unemployment or 10% unemployment, and the true unemployment might be upwards of 25 or 30%, as long as we're below that 50% level, capitalism can work. We have to have places for these owners to sell their stuff. So they need workers to be able to buy that stuff, which means the rest of us need some money to be able to continue to fund their lifestyles, or the cost of things need to drop where they don't necessarily need as much money to have their extravagant lifestyles, which also hopefully makes it slightly easier for us to have a reasonable floor of living standard. So I'm super interested to see what happens over the next year. I recently saw, I think it was Elon Musk talking about 100 million humanoid robots over the next however many years, and our society is just totally not ready for that. So if you haven't had a chance yet, please talk to your elected officials about this. Ask them what they're going to do about these things, and don't accept the answer of, oh, we're just going to let people do jobs that are better for people, and AI and robots and automation will only take the jobs that suck, because that's not a true answer. So fight for the future you want. Next and last, I want to talk about the Rabbit R1 Pocket AI Assistant. So this was revealed at CES as well in Las Vegas, and it's an AI interface device. And the potential or idea here is that you would carry around this little box that looks like a old school like Tamagotchi, like giant sized Tamagotchi computer thing like you'd buy in a bargain bin at a Walmart or Kmart or Zellers or something like that. It had 20,000 pre-orders in 48 hours. It is $199 with no ongoing subscription fee. People are saying that it's really cool because there's no apps, it's just AI. I love the idea. I think that we have to figure out what the future of the phone looks like, and there are many innovative ideas with the different AI pins and glasses, but I think those form factors are in many ways better than this one. I certainly do not want to carry around two devices around the same size as a cell phone. So the idea that this Rabbit R1 Pocket AI Assistant is ever really truly going to take off has me shrugging my shoulders and shaking my head. I'd be super interested to know what you think. Have you had a chance to look at it? Do you think its features are good enough? Would you want a device that maybe doesn't even have a screen, that's really just an interface for AI to do things that you can talk to? If you've seen the movie Her, something along those lines, is that interesting to you? Let me know in the comments. I'd be super curious about that. These devices, these different form factors that we're testing out are going to become more and more common over the course of this year and probably next year as businesses try to figure out how can we create interfaces that are that next wave of technology. The adoption of the cell phone has always been one of those things that probably makes companies salivate. And so to come up with the idea that is the replacement for that and can potentially have the modern technological purchasing speed, I think would really be valuable to the right company. And I don't think Rabbit has that locked down. But you let me know what you think. I'd be super curious. I'm looking forward to being able to try one out. I certainly want to watch a few reviews before I do that because that's the way I am. I don't follow the trends. I don't blaze the path. I wait and see what the first line of reviews say, and hopefully it's something decent. This is the first episode of Curated Knowledge. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any feedback. I'm trying to figure out the length that I want to run these at, the topics that I want to cover, how I want to structure the episodes. So if you have any feedback, I'm certainly interested. And thank you so much for listening.